farmers have the answer to global warming. Well, during our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk a little about greenhouse gases and how farmers are saving the planet.
Well, Brian, there just is not enough carbon dioxide in the air for our plants. They just can't get enough. That's what these plants are breathing in. They're pulling in carbon dioxide. They're catching sunlight energy. Wow, what a great day for that. And they're putting that carbon down into the soil. What can you possibly think of that could help our environment more than growing more plants, Brian?
Okay, whether you're a believer in global warming or not, whether you're a believer in, hey, we need to reduce greenhouse gases, the fact of the matter is a lot of people do believe that, and there's a lot of money being spent to reduce carbon dioxide. Well, what reduces carbon dioxide? Plants. The higher the yield, the higher yielding crops, the more carbon dioxide plants will pull out of the air. So that's why for us as farmers, we have to produce higher yields to get more carbon dioxide out of the air. And then the good news is plants breathe out oxygen, which we love.
The other thing with plants, when you think about it, how long are plants going to be growing out in your fields? We want to try and keep plants growing as long as possible. So for example, on our farm, we're seeding crops when there's still a little bit of frost in the ground in many cases, and we're harvesting crops after the frost and after the soil conditions are cooling down. So we're growing crops as long as we possibly can. But in some areas of the country where they have an even longer growing season, we're seeing the use of cover crops to try to capture more carbon dioxide and keep things growing in the fields longer.
Now, Darren mentioned storing carbon down in the soil. That's the next step with this, and that's simply building soil organic matter. That's a great thing for farmers because more organic matter means more stored nutrients, more stored water, a softer and, let's just say, more squishy soil. We have a more responsive soil when it has higher levels of organic matter. So once again, what we're talking about here is farmers absolutely have the answer to reducing greenhouse gases, namely carbon dioxide, by simply raising higher yields and then doing whatever they can to build organic matter in the soil. And that's how most farmers are going to be in the future. You're going to find net zero on the carbon index score and maybe even a negative score on carbon index scale. So we are super excited about the future in terms of farming and reducing carbon dioxide in the air.
The other great things about plants are they're giving off oxygen for all of us to breathe, and they're choking out weeds like our weed of the week. Can you identify this week's weed?